Okay. Oh my god. I this is an impromptu short stream, but I did it. I actually managed to finally beat Luis. Uh, the only thing you guys missed, since they don't let you pause during in-game cutscenes for some reason, is Luis finally disappeared. Thank God. And everybody was looking up into the sky to see the main characters in the Skyrunner, and then suddenly this blast of dark magla hit the main cast. So we're just gonna go ahead and see what the heck's going on now. Let's go.
The people have declared you king!
We fight for more than justice. Show him our will against his. Show him the fall of his world.
Hold fast to your ideals! 'Tis your sworn duty as king!
You wielded the power of kings! It's time to stop following their footsteps! Now it's your turn to take your place with them!
Just fucking die already, Luis. Oh my god,
Your
he is still
fantasy
alive.
is naught but lies!
Fucking die already, you stupid garbage.
What? What's
Fucking
going on?
Griffith knockoff. Die already, you stupid bastard. Fucking wannabe Griffith looking ass. Nice.
Now, die!
We know. Fantasy is more than an empty dream. It's a dream. With the power to change the world!
Oh, cool. I swear to God, if he has a fourth phase, I'm leaving.
Damn you!
And stay dead, you fucking bitch. Nice.
That
Well, hey,
must
Maury.
be the Lord that governs Utopia in all worthy champions. The hero's archetype. The king. I see. At long last, fantasy has become a force that frees people from anxiety. A harbinger of change for a deadlocked reality.
Hey, there he is.
The people have chosen my son. With that, my tremendous gamble hath borne fruit. Thus it is that my duty here draws to a close.
And now, the novel you wrote with such passion will finally begin a new chapter.
This voice. Is that... Could it be? But
dat?
how?
While flames swept through the sanctum, I cast a final spell to abandon my body and survive in soul.
Oh,
I
is that the
became an
queen?
immaterial being among the fairies. I had to, so I might provide guidance to the child on his most perilous path.
The power of the archetypes.
This is the queen, right?
Was that your doing?
It's the only thing that makes sense.
No. All I did was awaken them to it. My voice carried the words they needed to hear. That power is no great and rare treasure. It is something that might be grasped by anyone with the will to change the world. And anyone has the power to change the world. Those children proved as much.
Cool.
I am truly sorry. I lost all the power I once knew. I saw the sanctum burn. And you. I lost you. Once they took our child from me, all my remaining hope went with it. And so I placed my faith in the royal magic. I believed that if this world would choose him, there would still be hope.
This shall do. That boy's fight, and ours, is finally over. The people no longer need some mystic relic or some lofty magics to soothe their fears. They have found the strength to overcome it within.
Oh, nice.
Provided they can turn their anxiety into strength and never stop walking toward the unknown, reality will ever change. Their world.
This isn't about the throne anymore. It marks the beginning of a new era, led by those who are truly worthy of the people's trust. Almost the appointed time now. The day is dawning on a new king's reign, and with it, my true passing. However, if I may truly end my life with pride in my boy, and my love at my
Sweet.
side, I've no regrets.
It's been a long road to this moment, hasn't it?
It has indeed. But for our son, a new journey now begins. Heed me, all people of the kingdom. Dawn breaks, and the appointed hour hath come.
He speaks. With the announcement of our new king, everything finally ends.
I now settle the long-contested succession to the throne. They who hath gathered the most faith from their
Yes.
subjects amassed, they
It's
who
me.
have overcome
It's
this
me.
fierce contest. Behold, your new king of your...
It's me. Yes. It's me. Oh, is that me?
Look! It's him!
Yay! That's me. That's me.
Yay! Look! Look, that's him, isn't it? He won!
He certainly did, love. He really did.
Hey, Fabian, you know, I'm gonna need a queen eventually, and I know you're single, so, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I still can't believe
Or
it.
am I?
That boy pulled it off.
Are you proud of me?
His Majesty, the new king.
I won't accept it! The new king is Count Luis.
Bro, Luis is dead. Fucking get over it.
He can't just crown his son after all. That's cheating, that is. Rise up, people! Riot!
Disorderly conduct will not be permitted.
I forgot about these guys.
Settle down. The tournament is over. Our new king has been decided, and the royal capital falls under His Majesty's rule. Threaten it, and you shall face the wrath of the Crown Theocracy's warrior monks.
Bloody fantastic. They really did it.
Nice.
Quietude descended once again upon the royal capital, and the day of the new king's coronation arrived.
Oh, we jumped ahead. Okay. Is it coronation time? Yay, coronation time.
Boy, coronation really crept up on us.
Don't act like you did something,
There's a
Galka.
lot of people in the crowd.
Me and the other people in the party did the heavy lifting. All you did was fly around and screech at us the whole battle.
Don't tell me you're nervous. After everything we survived already, stage fright should be
Yeah,
nothing
see?
for you.
These are the actual people that pulled all the weight. Even Norris did more than you, Galka.
All the same, my heart's pounding out of my chest.
Is it? Nothing you're not used to then. It's just like with the archetypes. Just keep your head high.
Yay, strong.
It'll be fine. We'll keep the crowd warmed up
Yeah,
for
Juno,
you.
Can
you sing a song for me, please?
Your newfound dignity suits you well, Your Highness. Ah, but I suppose you have outgrown that title. Your Majesty. Yes, that too suits you well.
Your Majesty.
By the way, saw some of them Senate fat cats hovering about, acting like they've been supporting us from the start, of course. Always on
Hell
the
yeah.
inside, eh?
I mean, nothing we can do about that, Baz.
That isn't
Unfortunately.
the alternative, no? Especially since we've got some Luis diehards among
True.
the people.
I hear that many are concerned about his proficiency with statecraft.
That's okay.
To be honest,
You can help
I'm
me
not
if you
so sure
want.
myself.
I was joking about Fabienne earlier. I want to date Fabienne, but if we're being realistic, I feel like the protagonist would probably date Yufa. I think him and Yufa are the most likely to be a couple if there was a romance option in this game. None of those swayed the entire kingdom.
Juna will stand as moderator at the podium. His Majesty will only be asked for a few
cool.
brief answers.
Yeah, that makes sense. Juna has the most experience with being on stage, so
First, the people would know how you aim to lead them. How will you respond to that, Your Majesty?
I'll confront any challenge for my people. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'll strive to do my utmost, with all of you at my side.
That's fine. The people have about had it with pompous monologues. Better to say what you mean with determination.
Still, there are a lot of people in the crowd who have never supported you. How are you going to respond to them?
I'll have to let my work prove my words. With results,
Yeah.
I hope everyone can feel that our future will be brighter.
You went from a nobody to the top seat in the nation. No need to puff up and bluster anymore, what? You'll do fine.
Yay, Norris.
A ruler must only stand tall. The rest is not done alone.
Yay, Ice May.
We are with you.
Best boy.
Indeed. And we're no strangers to more practical work. Whatever our tasks, I'm sure we can handle them.
Well, it's time to make your first appearance as our
Oh
king.
boy.
Let us brace
Here we
ourselves.
go.
Good luck.
Thanks for always having my back.
Well, let's go. To His Majesty, the new king.
Yay. Juna.
All right, a warm welcome, please. His Majesty, the new king. Your Majesty, you're so young.
Please. My king, your subjects would hear how you intend to lead them.
Relax, okay? Take it easy and use your own words.
As a ruler, I've much to learn. I cannot say what I'll accomplish. And yet, I believe the world can change by our hand. And to that end, I will face any odds.
Can I say, I've probably mentioned
Now,
this
Your
already
Majesty,
before,
a few
but
more words.
I preferred
Naturally, some under your rule now
I
supported
preferred
other
him with
people
the
in the
blue
race.
hair.
How do you
I
respond
think
to
the
their
blue hair
voices?
looks better. I
There will
like
be
the blue hair
times I
and the
let you
head and
down.
the
I know that.
different colored eyes.
Only results can
The
prove my
white hair is
intent.
fine, but you know.
But still, even should you oppose your king, you can always believe in your own future. I will make sure of it.
Thank you.
A nation where dreams and fantasies are always in reach will surely be a challenge.
We'll make it happen.
There you go. If you can pull that off, you'll be the finest king we've known. Well then, this is it. Your attention, please.
No lord remains for you to kneel before. Please take the crown with your own hands, my king.
Yay! We did it. You did it.
Long have I awaited the arrival of this day. This journey has reached its end. He came to know the goodness of a hero's heart, and became the king his people had always hoped for. But as this journey ends, so another begins. I'd like you to watch over him on his path for a little longer yet. 1 year has passed since the arrival of the new king.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, 30. 12:35. So there's 35 days in December in this world.
Hey, heard the news? They're finally reopening that mage academy that got closed down.
Cool.
You don't say. The famous one deep in the Montario Mountains. Really? I'm impressed. It only took them a year.
They've even paved a proper mountain road. And get this, the headmistress is none other than Lady Juna.
Nice.
What? The songstress?
Well, she is one of the king's 6 partisans. If she managed to help save the world from Luis, I expect she knows a thing or two about magic. Sounds like they plan to fully open the magic researchers' findings to the people, too. Quite a turn from when the late Sanctifex banned it.
Boo, Sanctifex Forden, boo.
Makes sense to me. After the clash between His Majesty and Luis last year, everyone knows you don't really need an igniter to use magic.
Truth.
And that's just today's news. It's surprise after surprise, ever since us churchfolk got the boot from the palace.
Hard to believe it's been a year. Only natural there'd still be some unrest.
Even the Royal Knights. Their leadership was bound to the church more than anything. And now he's out on his ear too. And replaced by Sir Heisme Noctul, no less.
Yay, Heisme!
You believe that? The Royal Knights, led by a Ujif of all things. Though he's one of the 6 partisans himself. When he speaks, everyone listens. No one's about to complain.
Even Parliament now invites citizen representatives to hearings. Strange to think we'd been deaf to the voice of the people until now. It's unbelievable, compared to the days of the autocrats. How swiftly the times change, eh?
Credit where it's due. I think it's thanks to His young Majesty. Remember last year's coronation? Unprecedented, that. Saw heroes of all different tribes celebrating the king's victory. Celebrating among the common folk, even. They tell me some of the younger aristocrats have taken to calling it the Great Reconciliation. It really is a tragedy, what happened to his father, the king. But considering how his sons turned out, I hope he's at peace.
Indeed. Yet the real test is still to come. The first year has seen a lot of good, but we've still got our share of problems.
Isn't that how it always goes? People are smiling, but smiles won't solve the multitude of problems we still have.
Speaking of His Majesty, I've also heard some folks saying they've seen a boy wandering around these parts who looks just like him. You don't suppose?
Bah, can't be. Without his escorts? Besides, what business would a king have in this place?
Suppose you're right.
So I guess there's 35 days in December. Interesting.
Mountains upon mountains of appeals from the people.
Oh my god.
How many days will this take to sort?
I love Hulkenberg's new uniform.
After all the trouble you took to flee politics. And somehow you're now the preeminent ladyship of your house. Such is fate.
Despite everything, this year has passed in surprising peace, hasn't it? Honestly, with the royal scepter disappearing like that, I feared more dissent.
I want to see Yufa's
Perhaps after
new
Luis,
uniform.
They swore they could never let that happen again. Either way, more and more are dealing with conflicts calmly and openly. Promising.
It promises that I'll
love
have
it.
an eternally cluttered desk.
It's nice.
Here, Your Majesty. I've brought in the next load. And there we go. Not half bad, right? Hey! Isn't the king supposed to be here?
When did he? I've said countless times not to leave unannounced.
Oh, all this decoration doesn't suit me. How did Luis and Forden put up with all this damn finery? Your Majesty? are you here?
Nice.
Juna's back from her inspection.
Oh, cute.
Apologies, Troll. I'll look for him now.
Wait, I'm coming with you. Oh, good grief. Some things never change. Not that they should.
I'd say life has changed plenty for us. Yet somehow our captain's same as he ever was.
Nice portrait.
And then, well, I might have got a bit too fresh with them stuck-up Sanctists, but those bloody church folk been looking down on us for years, you know? Still, it was other Sanctists what stepped in to keep things peaceable too. I reckon they're not all bad. Guess me cogs turning. They lost both their Santifex and the Saint Lady last year. Got their own struggles, I expect.
As authority weakens, power falls into the hands of those who have never wielded it. We must ensure it does not corrupt and give rise to a new conflict.
Not like it excuses all of them or makes me want to go up and shake a Sanctor's hand, but you really put some perspective on it.
It was good talking to you, too.
You know what, lad? You're all right. You ever need some good, honest work? I'll get you squared, eh?
I think I'm good. I'm glad to see more optimism. Still, it'll take more than that to affect true change.
I should have known you'd be wandering around without your escorts again. How is it, being able to hear the city's honest thoughts? If you told them you're the king, it'd knock them sideways. Sorry you ended up coming all this way. Maria's actually out on an errand right now.
That's fine. Ain't no problem seeing you. Damn, she's fine.
I see. That's too bad.
Are you that disappointed? She's a lucky one for such company. Either way, let's keep your head down. You know what happens when you're too obvious about this. Sooner or later, the Lady Captain of the Royal Guard...
Oh, there you are! I knew we'd find you here, for crying out loud!
Phew. So you were here.
Hi, Hulkenberg. I love your outfit.
Speak of the devil.
Let us return, Your Majesty. And I thought I had informed you that Juna would be back from her expedition today.
I have a few stops left in the city, though.
You do know I practically sprinted out the gates to find you.
Okay.
To settled, I shall come with you on every excursion.
No.
Not dressed like that, you won't. You know how we like snooping around, inconspicuously.
But her new uniform looks so nice.
Point taken.
He'll be fine. His Majesty is not about to fall prey to some alleyway scandal, surely. Right, Your Majesty. If you see Maria about, do slow down for a chat. She'll be shattered if she finds out she just missed you.
Where's Baz?
Fine. Now, Your Majesty, once your business here is finished, please make sure you return to the palace with all swiftness.
Where's Baz? Where's Baz?
All right.
Let's go.
Reminds me of the first time Maria went missing. It seems so long ago now. Yeah.
Eh?
Hi, Hulkenberg. Yeah, this is like the part at the end of the Persona games where you get to talk to all your social links. To think the king would sneak over to my tavern without so much as a single bodyguard. You never change, do you? But this city hasn't changed either. Sunshade Row isn't as safe as one might hope. Still, why don't you pay Maria a visit?
Eh?
Come now.
When you finish your business, please promise me you'll return to your duties. If If you take this as me pressuring you, that's not it at all. Only that is captain of the Royal Guard. I must know your whereabouts at all times. You don't need to be so serious, Hulkenberg. Lighten up, maybe? You mean to say I'm too fussy? Well, 'tis only proper for captain of the guard. To be overly familiar would set a poor example.
Of course.
That said, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels. I owe regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned he yet lived. And in the end, it was your ascent to the throne that I supported.
And so?
I never tire of the faces of young guards make me when I tell them of the time you acted as a witness to my duel. Oh yeah, Rodanth. Thanks to you, I was able to face him. I'm pleased to say the knights of today are nothing like they were under Rodanth's command. Soldiers take up their sword not for those in power, but for the people, and as the champion of the people yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you, our king.
Well,
you do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do, though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they protect not just the king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voice. I will protect you with my life, and I have always endeavored to do so. Only let me stay by your side.
What do you want to do? Eh?
Oof. I wish I was less tired. Because honestly, I'm dreading the concept of having to talk to every single one of my links right now. Oh, hey, Alonso.
Pleasure to see you.
Hello, Your Majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I've seen you've become quite adept at sneaking away from your palatial duties. Under constant fire from knaves of all trades, con artists, and critics, your opening act has been rather tumultuous. Yeah, it's been tough, but I'm glad we've managed so far. Quite right, your critics are loud and open, but plenty more have their faith in you. Besides, more of those agitators are the kind of scum that stir the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I can't handle, of course, all in a day's work for the Royal Adjutant of the Citizens' Council. Quite the ally I've made.
Hey.
I wonder if my mother would be the slightest proud to see who I've become. But I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good. I'm proud to be working alongside you.
Yes.
That's right. Supporting you's the best thing I can do. You're the one who's been able to create such lasting changes in our country.
Now that you mention it...
Oh, that reminds me. Do you remember Datarum, my hometown's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He's since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country's doing so well. There's nothing more to it.
Thank you.
I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you, and I'm proud to be among its people. Perhaps, under your rule, the day will come that we, Nydia, can even walk freely in our true forms. Curious to see what my true form is? I'd be happy to oblige, but let's save that for another time.
What now?
Well, I sure don't want to go back to the
Anyone over here?
Oh, very nice.
Nice hat.
Oi there!
Wait, was that one of the guys from Luis's ship?
You're kidding.
You remember me, I'm Sergeant Glaycom. Well, you see, that's the thing. End of the year is a perfect time for a flagon. And when we lost Fidelio,
I guess.
Certainly couldn't follow Luis, leaving the Tradrius. Jesus, they all talk so fucking much. God damn. Yep.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, hey.
Well, well.
Running around Sunshade Row. Israel. There's unrest of the oppressed rising in revolt against their oppressors.
Yes.
Walled Garden. You endorsed. Yeah. Yep. Still a dickhead. Okay, I saw Baz. There he is. Basilio. Oh, look at him. Yay. Out inspecting again. Seems the right pain to me, but I appreciate you going all the effort. How fares the city?
Hey.
Wish I had something to report, but I don't. Guess that's what happens when you make a guy like me captain of the Tratrian Brigade. Bit of a mouthful, huh? Still not used to calling myself a captain. But we've been taking in some survivors from Luis's troop, you know? Don't worry, I've got 2 eyes on them even when I ain't looking. Way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them how power's supposed to be used, huh? We owe it to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer turn into a life of crime to make ends meet. If Del could see Grand Triad today, his eyes would bug out. And not just Del, lots of guys who didn't make it.
That's...
You mean Vinka?
Yeah.
You remember him, huh? Those damn experiments trapped him in a vengeance that he couldn't see past. But I feel like even he might be smiling, seeing what I'm up to now. We built this place with a lot of blood and tears, so I say those of us who made it this far owe it to them who didn't to protect it. Maybe I've got nothing to report today, but it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king.
Thank you.
You've been through a lot, though, so thanks for not giving up on us, or the world. You spot any trouble that I didn't spot, just point me at it, and I'll solve it real quick. Hi, Heismay. You look so handsome. I love it. Well, well, the king is out on some personal business, huh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business who comes or goes. I am on break, after all. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards. They take their duties very seriously. Who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That's become clear to me since becoming titled. What could be more bizarre? A Ujif outcast, once a wanted criminal, made knight commander? There was, of course, some opposition at first, but the more talks I've had, the more accepting they become. They needn't look no further than the outcast who became their king.
True.
Indeed, you faced no shortage of persecution, and look at you now. Grand titles and posts across the nation are no different, spread across all the tribes. I've realized over the past year just how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not make a country.
However,
yet he stands for those very people as a symbol and a representative. That the king and those around him are of mixed tribes. It has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in rural villages.
Now that you mention it.
How is Tadara these days?
Yes.
How is Tadari? Yeah, the guy, I remember. He seems as busy as he can handle, now that they've resumed trade with other villages. Your coronation inspired that village to greater heights. It proved that the barriers can be broken, and that even they could take the first steps. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the changes for myself soon enough. And someday, I hope distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history books.
We shall.
We've got a ways to go before that day comes, but until then, let us forge a path towards it, Your Majesty. I love you so much, Heismay. And I love you, Basilio. My boys. My boys.
All right.
I love them so much. Mwah. Mwah. I love you.
Ah, brilliant. Thanks.
I love you both. I love you both so much. Alright, who's up here? Juna! Look at her! She looks so cute! I love the mage dress.
My king.
There you are, Matthias. I heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we could cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me.
In that case.
Brought me souvenirs?
Gosh,
Oh, let's just focus on the report. Don't worry, I'll give you just the gist. Firstly, the Mage Academy's reconstruction is going well. Repairs are in full swing, and we're already processing admissions. I must say, I'm still surprised you appointed me, of all people, to be the Academy's headmistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour. Oh, shall I introduce you to my furry friend? I scooped him up in the Academy, of all places. During the reconstruction, they stumbled upon this little guy in some kind of observatory. Is that Plateau? Oh my god, did Juna adopt Plateau? Considering the igniter around his neck, I was sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in the cold, could he?
So...
Regardless, our mysterious kitty is only the tip of the iceberg. All that knowledge was lost when the Academy fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may even be hiding some secrets as big as the Dragon Temple. Oh, and I'm keeping the cat. Feels like fate, you know?
Speaking of which...
Speaking of fate, on my way back, I met up with Murtis. Oh, the rival songstress, yeah.
Now we're talking.
I hope she's doing well.
Yeah.
More than well, her throat seems to have healed, and she's a fairly prominent singer. We both just keep soaring to new heights, her in music and me coming face to face with magic again.
Hey!
Surely you remember, music was the first magic born in the world. When the heart expresses itself through music, it moves the hearts of others. And when they make hearts swell, why, there's no end to the magic. So just you watch. With music and magic at my side, I am going to change the world. All will have equal opportunity to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's what my sister would have wanted. And if it makes the world a better place, why, that would be just grand, wouldn't it?
Magic.
Rella taught me that magic is more than a tool. It's in all of us, deep in our hearts. Oh, Juna. I love her hat. I love her little hat. I love it. It's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah?
Who's this? That. Norris. No, Norris doesn't get a new costume. L. Oh, what brings His Royal Majesty here? Come to feel the wind on your face, have you? I know how it is. I have the fancy old title of Chief Engineer of... Hold on. Chief Engineer of Kingdom Infrastructure Development Bureau. And I can research as I please, but something's missing. I threw off my stuffy old uniform and gaze upon the runners.
About that.
Feel like I know what you mean. I knew you'd agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. I miss the days of dashing hither and thither in the runner. Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you gave me, Modifying Gauntlet Runner. You gave me to the man who used to skulk about modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent a teleportation device that will deliver fresh fish straight from Oceania to your palatial plates. It would change the world, wouldn't it? I'm just a bit stuck on the development.
Indeed.
And it's times like this I need stimulation. You have anything that might do the trick? Are you gonna send me on another relic hunt? Don't pretend like you wouldn't enjoy it. Every time you'd pop back in with one, oh, I remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. I do miss traveling like that. Even if relics themselves were better off left untouched, they become the guiding principle of my research, you know? Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations is no engineer at all.
However...
Still, it's no small feat to design with a perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a bally genius. Ah, I knew it. What I need is stimulation. Your Majesty. You know, like the soul-shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. You'll let me know if you ever want to go out for a spin, won't you? Our dealer girl's sparkling Kraleen and ready for takeoff. There she is. Oh, the beds are empty. man. Alright, who else is around? Oh, hey. Oh, your majesty, what fortune. Is there anything my humble personage might be able to do for you, your radiance? I am at your service, but say one glorious word and I shall most happily... Alright, it's laying it on a little thick. It's that forked tongue that got you in trouble last time. You hear me? One wrong move and we're turning you over to Basilio. Of course. Yay, I can still ride. Nice. Brigida. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Hi. Mommy? Fuck. The king himself out browsing in the shops. Perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Anything you'd recommend? One igniter in particular, in fact, though I'm afraid we're all sold out at the moment. The igniter I made at the Children's Request, the one that lights up with rainbow colors, it's selling surprisingly well. The store was packed with families and children.
Say.
I now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom, as head of the Igniter Consortium. I can't help but think that if I had been in this position sooner than the Church's violence, the tragedy of that village could have been prevented.
Brigitte.
What matters now is how we move forward, though, right?
Yes.
Indeed. I can dwell on the past all I wish, but it won't change it. The future, on the other hand. I took up this post after I was nominated by my colleagues. In other words, I suppose that means people have expectations of me, and that I, too, am a spoke in the wheel of change. Our new king has changed this country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all weapons could disappear.
Yet.
It's all the more reason I hope that the reason for people to wield them continues to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing all that I can possibly do with all that I am, just as you do.
Speaking of...
Ah, yes, do you remember my dog? I found the one who took her. Naturally, I considered killing them. But there she was, sitting beside them. Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm her, so they decided to keep her. I had no choice but to spare them. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to atrocities I commit in her name. You should come along and play with her sometime. I'm sure she would remember you. Oh, that's good. Oh, hey, Loveless.
Hey.
Ah, Your Majesty. Oh, one question, if I may. When are you going to lower booze prices? I'm only codding you. Haven't felt much like drinking until I black out so often anymore. After I entered the tournament, I really thought through some stuff. I was acting like a fool on the world stage, and to you too.
Yeah.
I'm grateful, you know. Can't speak for the rest of the country, but you've done right by us, Parapus. We've got it better than we ever did. Some chuckleheads out there still try to take out their aggression on us, but they're just venting. I'm sure you'll do something soon enough.
Ain't this a pickle? Pickle.
Oh, hey, another one of the guys. Oh yeah, the one who was obsessed with Juna. Mm-hmm. Oh, he left right after Juna.
You've got this under control, yeah?
Cool. Okay. Okay. Yufa. Yufa, 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 Yufa.
Greetings.
Hi. I love you. Working hard as ever, Matthias. Were you going about town listening to people what people have to say? Myself, I've come from the Crown Court. I've just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as Chief Magistrate.
Well,
shouldn't the Chief Magistrate delegate those things? Well, that's a question I'll throw right back at you, Your Majesty.
In truth...
As you're undoubtedly aware, in the past, many citizens were sentenced to hang without any trials.
Alas...
I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone, regardless of race or status, can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally. It just goes to show anything is possible, even for a priestess. And my brother's making great strides as the village chief. He rather hated the role before, but he's truly found his calling, I think.
The reason is...
As I said, no one knows what the future holds. It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not turn to crime. and so I practice what I preach.
Now that you
The other
mention
day, I went to Ovi's church to inquire with those who were sick about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. The people at the church were okay with you being there?
Very well.
I had a productive conversation with Ovi and the rest. Many who were sick have gotten better, and I want to ease into working again. Hearing them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had were God.
I do believe...
I want to fight for them to have options under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes with all their values can join hands in harmony. That's what I want.
Because...
You aim to achieve that too, Your Majesty. I hope you allow me to keep walking alongside you. Of course. Mwah. I love you.
Hey.
Oh, Your Majesty. Good to see you're doing well. I've just left a meeting with provincial lords. I also preach Mustari teachings in various areas. Many still push back against such teachings, but that's fine. A country is well served to different perspectives. Many of the villagers have come around to this too, you know. I think that's because you all face such danger on our behalf. Still, it won't be easy to change the entirety of Uchronia. Its history is embedded deep in its roots. The country is larger, and some people will need all the power you have. The true test of your values has only just begun.
May God keep you.
All right.
Surveying the city, Your Majesty. Your escorts would be aghast. Not that I think anyone is truly capable of harming you. As you're aware, faith in the Sanctus Church plummeted after our misdeeds were exposed. I admit, we were arrogant and unjust, wicked in custom, but people have found salvation through the Church as well. I intend to restore the Sanctus Church to its true purpose, to offer salvation to those in need. As Sanctiarch, and as someone who was saved by the Sanctus faith, as all I can do to return the favor. Well, I'm glad Godot made a turnaround. At least he's doing better. Oh, hey, Goddard.
Right.
Well, it is in Your Majesty. Been a year since you ascended the throne, and a quick one at that. Feels like the strife with Luis was a bad dream. Had you asked me then, I would be wringing my hands about one so young leading us, but now, I'm embarrassed to have thought like that.
Oh.
You had a keen eye to recognize the danger Luis posed, and are braver still to have fought him. You had a kingly caliber I never truly possessed. Still, a single year is but a drop in the bucket. Stay vigilant, Your Majesty. Thank you, Goddard. Ooh, who's this? Pardon!
That's something.
Your Majesty, no guards with you. Don't worry, I'm no tattletale. I myself just left a meeting going over how provincial governments are doing.
So,
how are things in Mertira? Oh, it's as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the provincial lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare, too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the government role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Are things all right now?
But of course.
Indeed. The townspeople play an active role in policy and administration, and I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like I once was and would rather manage things at their discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter into public opinion can be laborious, what with all the proceedings and disputes.
Then again.
Still, changing our own lives with our own hands make the process worth the trouble.
Oh yeah.
And choosing a king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed. Hello, Milo. Your Majesty, it's been a week. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, and 1 year since I lost it. Thinking back, I have no regrets. I'd not been able to defeat Luis in the end.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected, really, but I believe in your power, Your Majesty. Though I'll not acquiesce on all fronts, you know. You didn't look further than your 6 partisans, your merry little band. I can appreciate your faith in your inner circle, but to reward them all your key posts? Why, one might expect you of collusion. A country requires views from all walks of life, or put another way, why not appoint me as your prime minister? With my guidance, Uchronia would become a land of beauty. Just when you think he's gonna make a decent point, he plays to his own angle.
Lovely.
Yeah, well. Who dat?
Amazing.
Stroll.
Hey.
Skulking about the city, huh? Which is to say, Hulkenberg is on the hunt. The classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed.
I mean...
Forgive me, I'll try to act more like a pretentious git from now on.
No.
That's rich. All that royal blood in you is positively wasted, my friend. What are we to do with you? Now that I can talk, I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself.
Even so.
You know, I see now that even those at the top can have their struggles, a little too clearly. A general's duty feels overwhelming at times. But there are lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives.
Hey.
Remember our first meeting at the recruitment center? I, a fallen noble, and you, a struggling Elda? Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were nothing more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd never realize the truth. My father's intentions, I certainly wouldn't have saved the Aliens.
Thank you.
I owe seeing the joy on their faces to you. I think I've said it before, but thank you.
That's...
You need to give yourself some credit too, Stroll.
No.
I would still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you.
Hey.
You've a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail, now and always. It's my role as the warrior to be the vanguard.
That's why.
Our titles might have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is the same. Don't hesitate to rely on me. Oh, I love you, Stroll. Mwah. Okay, who's this? Best girl!
Hi there.
Well, if it isn't the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got into town. Long time no see.
Oh, right.
Ain't it been? I've been out traveling since I took the reins on the Seekers Recon team. Hard to believe it's been half a year. And crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there, but what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different that my head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem dull if I could speak my mind. But this country's changing. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. Oh, that's right. She said she wanted to check out what was beyond Uchronia, right? So I guess... oh, interesting.
Hold on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Come on, I'm just roasting you. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust you with making all the lives of the Parapus better than they were. All my cohorts have found jobs, and some of them even picked up new skills.
See you soon, I hope.
But don't you worry your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, will ya? Oh. I love Brigitte.
I love it.
Anybody else?
Wonderful, isn't it?
Am I missing anybody? I don't think I'm missing anyone, am I? Did I talk to everybody? Oh yeah, another one of the guards from Luis's ship. I think that's everyone, actually. Yep. Stroll, Hulkenberg, Heismay, Juna, Yufa, Baz, Norris, Kat, Alonso, Barden, Brigitte. Oh, Moray. Wait, where do I go to talk to Moray?
Alright then.
Is it in the church? I can't go into academia anymore, so...
Amazing.
Alright then.
Yeah, the academia portals are all gone, so... Well, I'm sure I'll get a chance to talk to him.
So,
Yeah.
that reminds me.
Being here sure brings back memories. You remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament? She was crying back then, and though.
But
things are different now. You can say that again. The country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there'll be always differences of opinion, but your ideals really came to fruition. That reminds me, what's up with that book you're carrying around? Is that the one you've been working on?
Oh.
I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can come up with. But maybe that's not even the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it in ink, that means you're going to make it a reality. Now then, shall we? Maria.
Oh, hello there.
Hi, Maria.
Oh, right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa,
R.I.P. to the goat.
even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
am I keeping my promise properly from back then?
Yes, you beat the villain, and now the city's full of smiles. And I'm sure Papa's smiling down on you too.
R.I.P.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see a kid smile like her. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
A place where I ought to be, a side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
And I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
Yeah, I'm counting on you. Let's do this together.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
Hi, guys.
Everyone!
Long time no see. How have you been?
I really wish that these costumes were unlockable, because it would be really cool to play the game in these costumes.
As we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Hold on a tick. Those people there. Surely not.
Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to go at once.
Needn't fuss, old thing. It's been too long since we were all together again anyway.
Lady Tuna, did she really come all this way in a runner? Could have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
True.
The unmitigated nerve.
Falkenberg, calm down.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
Oh.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
True.
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
He's right. The capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls.
A year ago, I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. I mean, let's be real. The capital isn't gonna fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Of course not. We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit? Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
You dare hoy the king? You swine!
Hulkenberg, please calm down.
Steady on, Hulkenberg, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really. Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day, but we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed. A veritable mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
And not long after, the new year dawned.
We're still going. Okay. Man, Atlas games just really do not know how to end, do they?
A journey? Are you really planning on leaving us?
I won't force you to come. I'm fine going alone.
I can't let myself stagnate. I want to learn more about the world.
I already told you. I'll follow you wherever you go.
Dang it, we were almost freer.
Sounds like fun, but a daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing, and a proper journey is quite another.
Hi, Norris.
You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
I want to do what I can for the people. If that's not kingly, then the crown's just slowing me down.
Come on, this is no time for jokes.
Never the fearless gadabout, eh? Well, I take your point, lad. Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. So you want to get a better grasp of it all. That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized, so I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun this size. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the ballet court engineer, I've no choice but to come along. I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all. Yes, here begins our quest anew. Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Sire, you've really got to stop chasing these ideas all on your own. You'll be the death of us.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Norris, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Yeah.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
For my part, I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh, so you have no plans to stop our little adventure, eh?
Hulkenberg and I talked it over. We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with you than stop you.
I'm glad to hear that, but will that be all right?
I was thinking back to our last fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf.
Right.
In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion. Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year, 'tis never a dull moment in your Majesty's employ.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
Well, this was the group at the start of the story, so...
Okay, but can we really afford to have both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
'Tis natural course for the Royal Guard to accompany the king. And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right? And we'll just have to lead by example.
Right then, let's go.
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind. Is fantasy a powerless creation? That timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know. To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land that has not yet lost hope. And it was you who answered the call. Armed with your hope, armed with the power of fantasy, you rose in glory. Such courage, such whimsy, and yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
You're welcome, Mori.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
There he is! Best boy.
They're awful, aren't they? They would have left us behind. Oh.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
Well, hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Yay, we brought Maria with us.
Amazing!
Poetic indeed. That the Scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
I'll say, I definitely like this view better.
Let's go.
Holy shit, we finally made it. Still no skip button, huh? All right. Yep. It's been 30 years and they still don't know how to add a skip button to their credits. Cool. Yeah. That was a pretty solid game. Pretty fucking great. I still don't think it's better than the Persona games, but it was very good. And, yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I'm pretty sure there's no post-credit scene. I'm just gonna check and see real quick so I don't have to force you guys to watch the whole credits with me. Cool art. Looks like there is a post-credit scene, so... Cool artwork. Well, at least I get to listen to more of the music. Oh, hey, that's the art from the beginning. I'll take a nap. Oh, finally. The Great Seeker Journey.
Dear guest, from a world I shall never know. In your eyes, I know our journey was ultimately a fiction. However, I hope your memories of this fantastical adventure burn as bright in your reality. I hope the promise of our world echoes in you. With all my heart, I hope that fantasy gives you strength.
Yep, there we go. Oh, is that the Charadrius?
Look at that. The rubble's just bait for tourists now.
I never expected a view like this.
Let's see it all. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
A new journey now beckons. In days of Eld, the people prospered and perished in turn. Struck by their ways, I wrote a book of my dearest ideas. A tale of fantasy. In my vision, they placed their trust, and so the kingdom breathed new life.
The strength to believe in the unknown, that can change everything. Without a doubt, you will face all sorts of trials ahead. But carry onward with all your heart. Onward, fearless, into a world unknown.
Cool. All right. Well, that's the end of that. Can't wait to play it again. Okay. Bye, everyone. Mwah. Love you.